All right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage from the F.A.C.E Foundation, Brooke Haggerty. How is your summer going?
Wonderfully.
Yeah?
It's always wonderful in summer in San Diego.
That's true. Even during June gloom, right?
During June gloom, absolutely. Got to deal with the tourists, but I guess that's one of the catches of living somewhere so wonderful.
You must live close to downtown.
I actually don't, but I'm all over. San Diego's one of those places where you can be anywhere at any time. It's amazing. Just finished house sitting in La Jolla. That's where all the tourists are. I know.
And how was that?
Amazing. Ocean view all around.
Wow. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm jealous, actually. Really, really jealous. So can you tell us, so you work with F.A.C.E Foundations. Can you tell us a little bit about that, just so everyone here knows what you do?
Yeah, so the F.A.C.E Foundation is a San Diego nonprofit that provides financial assistance for emergency veterinary surgeries. So if your dog got hit by a car or your cat ate some string and needed a surgery to live, essentially, we pay for that for people who can't afford it. So we prevent what we call economic euthanasia, and we are going to save our 1,000th life later this year.
Wow, that's awesome. That's really great. That's so great. I mean, I love like dogs and cats and all those things, but like, do you guys ever, I mean, is that what you guys mostly deal with, or do you guys have like, is it mostly dogs and cats?
Yeah, so we've actually saved one bunny.
Okay.
This week was a crazy week. We got an inquiry about a quail, a goat, and a chinchilla. I don't know if we're gonna do any of those cases, but we get calls from ranging from anything from rats to turtles to birds. Some animals don't do well under anesthesia.
Yeah.
But dogs and cats primarily, it has to be a family pet.
Right.
But we also help the humans too. We like to think of it as saving the pet, but helping keep that family together and really preserving the bond that our community shares with pets. San Diego's a very pet-friendly community.
Totally.
And some of these cases, the animals are really their whole life. You know, folks on Social Security who the cat is the only companion, or we help a lot of military guys and their dogs, you know, this or that happens. So pets and their families is who we serve.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Is anybody else emotional too? Yeah. I'm like, like all its pet lovers.
Yeah.
I know. So how did you, what was your background in, you know, what was your background? Like, how did you get involved? Like, how did you get started?
Yeah, well, I've always been a huge animal lover. Growing up, I've had every pet you can imagine. When I was in high school, I actually volunteered for an organization called Guide Dogs of the Desert, and I was a puppy raiser with them for 18 months.
Oh, puppies.
Yeah, it wasn't an awful job. I took this dog everywhere with me. I took it to high school with me, and
wait, so did everybody get a puppy? Was it like?
Well, I got a puppy.
Okay, I thought it was like the Stark family, and they each got like a Game of Thrones.
No, so you have to apply. You have to be accepted to do this, and they. Basically, the puppy stays with you for 18 months, and then you give it back. And
that's like the worst thing ever.
It was such a bittersweet moment. Giving him back was so difficult, but then 3 months later, after they do their official training, you get to present the puppy to the person who needs it, the blind person who needs that dog way more than I do. And so that was a very emotional day. I was 16 at the time, so I gave a speech, and I was bawling on the stage. I don't think anyone understood a word of my speech. But I still am in touch with Phil, who got the dog that I raised, and he actually, Avery, the dog, retired last year, and I got to go to his retirement ceremony.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so I did that, and then I started working for an animal rights group in San Diego, became a vegetarian, and started working for the Animal Protection and Rescue League, doing animal advocacy and humane education, and worked doing wildlife promotion, working with the harbor seals in La Jolla, doing various outreach campaigns and protests, protesting foie gras and puppy mills, and advocating for vegetarian lifestyle and Prop 2 back in 2008. So worked with them for a while.
We're not going to get into foie gras, but I just read about what that was about.
Yeah,
anyway,
so you
everybody,
know.
if you are interested in what, I'm not going to get into that, but anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like,
Google it.
Yeah, Google it.
So I did that. It's horrifying.
Yes.
So,
But I remember there was something you were saying about the, I mean, you were doing a lot of education with everybody too. And I remember you were telling me about, but we kind of didn't finish this. So what happened? So you were saying that you were talking to like, a little girl asked you some questions about the sea lions once.
Yeah, I know you love this story. So
well, I want to know the rest of it.
I did humane education for while I was working for that group, educating the public on harbor seals. And so I worked at a table out at the beach near the harbor seals, just answering questions about wildlife, seals, sea lions, anything. And one day, one busy summer day, I had this huge group of people around my booth. And this dad and his little girl came up to me. Among everybody else in that crowd, there were probably a few dozen people listening to me. And the girl asks me how the seals breed. And the girl's like 4. I don't know how old she is. She's little, right? She's just talking. And I looked to her dad and
that's
I'm
what
like,
she wants to know.
Yeah, and I'm like, can I answer this? Like, is this cool? Can I go there? And he's like, yeah, go ahead. So I start to give this little girl and 30 tourists the birds and the bees talk about seals. And I think somewhere after, when 2 seals fall in love and find that perfect seal, he looks at me like horrified, covering his daughter's ears. Like, she asked how they breathe. How they breathe, not how they breed. And I'm like bright red, and I'm like, I don't even know. So that was.
You ruined a life, Brooke.
I truly, she's probably scarred forever. So anyway, that kind of stuff is what I got to do, and it was actually a lot of fun for the most part. So. Ruining a girl's summer. Yeah. That's what the tourists get.
Don't come back now. So how can... So, I mean, you guys are obviously a foundation. You have to be funded and everything like that. So how can people who want to help you guys help? Like, what
I'm so glad you asked. Okay. So we, the average grant we give is $1,500. I don't know how many people have encountered large veterinary expenses, but $1,500 for one life saved. And like I said, we've almost saved 1,000. So to help, we accept donations. But you can also come and support us at our upcoming events. So we have a dog-friendly 5K in September on the 14th. And we hope that people can come there. It's a $30 registration fee, but multiply that times hundreds of people is a lot.
Where's that going to be?
That's going to be at Roadrunner Sports in San Diego on Copley Drive. Yeah. And in November, on the 3rd, we have a dog-friendly golf tournament at the Loma Santa Fe Country Club in Solana Beach.
What does that mean? People just play golf and their dogs are there?
It's so much fun. We've done it before twice. And every person who brings a dog has a volunteer assigned to their dog. Yeah. And the volunteer just runs along the golf course beside the golfer. He does his thing, or she. And the dog just comes and hangs out with them. It's a lot of fun. Last year we had about 20 dogs join us for the tournament.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So our special events and honestly, just sharing our social media on your pages, liking us on Facebook, that kind of stuff goes a long way. And ultimately, the more people who know about us, it turns into donations, which turns into lives saved. Okay, so what are those links? So we have the website? We have our normal website is F.A.C.E.4pets.org, and that's the number 4, F.A.C.E.pets.org, or facebook.com/F.A.C.E.for-Pets. The number 4, awesome. And that's pretty much it for everything. Twitter.com/F.A.C.E.for-Pets. That's going to be what you're going to want to look for. Perfect. Yeah. Well, we have an example of a family that you helped big time. So and I want to roll the clip that we have for that first, and then we'll and then we'll see the family.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Chad, Stephanie, and Loki. Wow, guys, that's such an amazing story. Seriously, I'm so excited that Loki's doing great. That's like obviously the goal and everything. So how did this affect you guys? I mean, obviously tremendously. She's like your daughter, right?
Oh yeah, it was absolutely brutal situation. Literally before we had our meeting with Brooke and the F.A.C.E Foundation, it was, D-Day.
Totally.
They didn't think it was operable, and then I got the call back, and that was the day that you saw her walking without her back legs. And then the doctors let us know that afternoon, hey, this is something that we can have a positive prognosis on, but we got to get her in right away.
Yeah.
And I'm talking with Stephanie on the phone, and then it's astronomical cost when it comes down to something like this. And we are a working class couple. We're not, we weren't unemployed or anything like that, but unfortunately in the dog health business, you come in with a sick dog and they don't say like the human health business where they're going to just fix you up and we'll deal with the money later. It's like, well, you're either, this is what it costs and we'll do it, or take a hike.
Yeah.
So it was just a very serendipitous call that we had, to where Stephanie happened to be co-workers with a gal that was involved in the F.A.C.E Foundation.
Oh, that's so
it was
great.
Just a beautiful serendipity that happened there, and we got our little rascal with us.
Yay! And she looks happy.
Oh yeah,
Thoroughly.
Yeah.
Spoiled it all.
Well, we have I'm a dog trainer by profession.
Oh, okay.
So she was not only our love of our lives, but she was a business partner of mine that we worked together. So she was, everybody uses that. She's more than just a dog, but she's truly family to us, and we're, forever grateful for the doctors and the F.A.C.E Foundation for helping us out.
That's amazing. That's an amazing story. And then, Stephanie, you were telling me, what breed is she?
She's what's called a Dutch Shepherd.
A Dutch Shepherd. Okay. I was going to say, because I was like, kind of looks like a brindle German Shepherd, but I knew obviously not
Very
a German
close,
Shepherd. But
Believe it or not, as
she's so pretty.
sweet as she is, these are the same breed of dogs that we train for the special warfare for the Navy SEALs.
Oh, really?
Similar to the dog that you saw on the Osama bin Laden raid and stuff like that. And you wouldn't know that looking at this sweet dog. Right. They're the man stoppers.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for bringing her on, and I'm so glad she's doing fantastic and she's able to rejoin your family and everything. Yeah,
absolutely our pleasure.
Sure.
Pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Give it up for Loki and everything she's doing. So, Brooke, thank you so much for joining us tonight too. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it was a really great special experience for sure. Different than what we've done before, and I'm really glad you guys were here. Definitely. So when we return, we are going to sit down with Solar Blaze. We'll be back after this.